When I left for Thailand at 20 years old, I had no idea what I was expecting, but what I was craving was something more than just a typical 9 to 5 life and just living my hometown for the rest of my very short life. When I left the USA at 20 years old, I had no idea what to expect, but what I was craving was for something more than just a typical 9 to 5 route or just living in my hometown the rest of my life. I just wanted to see what was out there. And almost after 2 years of arriving here, I found 11 different reasons that made Thailand loads better than the USA. And in this video, I'll be going over what those 11 things are, so that way if Thailand is on your list on somewhere to visit or somewhere to live, this will aid you greatly. So number one, obviously the most important factor is that it's very cheap to live out here, almost 3 times cheaper than back home in the States. And that's including accommodation, your food, transportation, renting a motorbike, pretty much everything you can think of in terms of like what you're spending money on back in the US. It's very likely that you'll find it a lot cheaper out here in Thailand. Like right now, we're living on the 30th floor in a very high-rise building, a very exquisite condo, very good lights, very modern. It's a very luxurious place in terms of the room. Now this building is a little bit on the older side, but still the location is right near M-Quartier or M-Sphere, all the very big malls. It's like right dead in the center of Bangkok, which is an absolute cheat code. Now with that, this place, it's 4K a month USD for us right now. So it's like 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, very big living room. But back home in the States, a place like this, the location, the amenities, and everything in between would be around maybe 8 to 10K USD a month. And with that, the water bill is only like a few dollars. The electricity is like $30, $60. We haven't really seen it quite yet, to be completely honest. But the last few apartments I stayed at, it never exceeded $60. And then following that as well, whenever I did rent a motorbike, back home in the States, it would probably be around a few $100s a day. But here, it's like 5 to 10 to maybe $15 a day, just depending on the type of bike that you get. And then with the food, I usually eat 2 to 3 meals a day, depending on how much work I'm doing, how much I'm traveling. But with the meals that I do eat, it obviously depends on where I'm eating. If it's a very high level place, obviously it's going to be like near US prices. But if you're eating just a normal meal, let's just say like you're eating pad thai or maybe you're eating out at a steakhouse, somewhere just a little bit more moderate, it's going to be a lot cheaper compared to back home in the States. And additionally, the convenience of living out here and how cheap the convenience cost of like getting everything delivered to you, the food, haircuts, massages, whatever you want to bring and whatever you want to go out to your apartment to go and do, it's the best chances are that you can get those things brought right to your doorstep. And it's super cheap in terms of the delivery. It's almost nothing with the cost. And that just makes it a lot better and a lot more time efficient. And especially if you're working online, you don't want to be leaving your computer multiple times a day and just wasting time clothes shopping, going out and buying groceries, going to get food at restaurants. You can literally get all of those things delivered right to your doorstep. And then number 2 on the list is the weather. 90% of the time out of the year, it's beautiful, sunshine, you're able to tan. The only downside, of course, is the pollution, especially in Bangkok and Chiang Mai during the smoky season. But other than that, it's not too bad compared to places like India or China, where it's super populated. They have no problem dealing with the pollution, but here it's not too shabby. It's very similar to New York, I'd imagine. But yeah, the weather, you're able to tan every single day, especially right now during monsoon season, even though it's raining pretty much every day for multiple hours a day. You still have the ability to go out whenever it's not raining. It always has those breaks of like 2 to 3 hours where it's not raining, where the sun is creeping through the clouds and you can go down to the pool and just tan whenever you want, maybe out on the balcony near your window. There's always that ability to get that sunshine in, to collect the vitamin D, to transcend that into testosterone, to boost your test for success. And with the weather as well, it's just the sunsets here are just unmatched, especially in Bangkok right after the rain. The clouds clear away, the sun is setting. I don't know what it is, maybe the hydrogen particles in the clouds, the sky, whatever it is, it just makes the sky a little bit more abstract in terms of the colors. It's just absolutely stunning. And then number 3, the women out here, there's just 9-day difference compared to back home in the States. Back home in the States, it's kind of gay, to be honest, dating the girls there just because they're a little bit too masculine. They're making money, they think they're independent, all that type of stuff. But here, they like to sing and dance and eat. Very supportive, very nurturing, very fun to be around. I was flat broke. No income coming in, but my girlfriend that's eating hot pot right there, she like paid for my coffees, all while I was like flat broke, nothing going for me until I made it to my first $10,000 month. And you just won't see that in the States. If you're going flat broke, no income whatsoever, no hope is in your life, 99 out of 100%, or maybe 999 times out of 1,000, those American girls, those US girls, they're going to leave you flat in the dust for someone who's making 6 figures a year. So with the woman here, just literally a 9-day difference, so much better than back home in the States, a lot more feminine as well. It's not gay dating these Thai girls unless you're dating a ladyboy, of course. But then yeah, following that, number 4, we touched on this a little bit, it's the convenience. You can literally, like we already talked about, you can get everything delivered to your door, especially with transportation. You can move from point A to point B within 5 to 10 minutes on bike. But one of the downsides is the traffic, especially if you're taking a car going from here to M-Sphere, which is usually like a 4-minute bike ride, will take you 20 minutes. So especially when you're living out here in Thailand and Bangkok in particular, taking a bike is very convenient compared to taking a car, as well as taking the BTS if you're not a fan of the joy rides, of hopping on a stranger's bike and zooming through the traffic, going in between cars, that little bit of adventure that you get, that'll be kind of happening when you hop on a bike. And if you're not really for that and you want more of the safer route, obviously the BTS is there as well, so that we just hop on a train. They have air conditioning. You're not gonna get your arm chopped off like in the UK. There's not any homeless people on these BTS trains as there are in New York, let's just say. But yeah, very convenient. Thailand, I'd say, is like super convenient compared to everywhere else I've been. Dubai's pretty convenient as well, but nothing has matched Thailand in terms of how quick you can do things. Now, next up on the list is the culture. The Thai people, they're the most loving and respectful people I've ever met in my entire travels. I've been to Bali, Dubai, the Philippines, all over the world, and Thailand is still number 1 in terms of the culture. It's super safe as well. I've walked around with these AirPods in with the noise cancellation on at like 2, 3, or 4 a.m. and nothing bad has ever happened to me. But of course, keep in mind I am like 6'3", 200 pounds, so it might differ from person to person. Maybe if your girl's a little bit more dangerous. But the only bad things I've experienced with the culture isn't even from the Thai people. It's from the foreigners that come here, the Indians, even US people, UK people, the Australians who think they're top notch. They come here, think they own the country. They're disrespecting everyone, which in turn they get that disrespect back. So what I found with the Thai culture is that it's literally a mirror to who you are. Like for myself, I've never had one bad experience in my entire time being out here, just because I've been totally respectful to everyone that I meet. And if you do the exact same thing, you'll have no problems whatsoever. And then number 6, with the network out here, it's also a 9-day difference compared to back home in the States, maybe besides like Miami. But just people out here, especially the foreigners, the high level ones, not the ones on holiday, just going to Nana Plaza and Khao San Road. The people who are going to the gym every day, making money online, that type of network, it's abundant out here because no one's working as a Grab driver, no one's working at 7-Eleven just because you can't. You'd be kicked out of the country if you're making money physically here in Thailand. So especially if you want to make money online, Thailand is the best place to go because with surrounding yourself with people making 5K, 10K, 50K a month online, and let's just say you're making $0 a month and surround yourself with these people,
It is a very cliche saying, but you literally are the average of the 5 people you hang around. So if you're hanging around 5 people doing very good numbers online, you'll be able to learn what skills they have, what vehicles they're in, what type of knowledge they have, and incorporate that into your life, so that we can level up to that place and gain the ability to live anywhere in the world and to make money online. And that's exactly what I did. And this just compares very good because back home in the States, I was surrounded by people in university, the 9 to 5. They were drinking, smoking, partying, raving, doing all these things that were the wrong inputs, which led me to the output of not making any money, doing all the bad habits, and just grinding in the complete wrong direction. But comparing that out here to Thailand, where everyone's going to the gym, they're focusing on their skills, they're leveling up in each and every single way. You have no choice but to level up every single way as well, unless you surround yourself with the wrong crowd, go to Khao Song Road, and then you just end up being a ladyboy. And it's just a very dark path to go down. So I'd highly recommend just focusing on getting into the right networks out here, so that way you can set yourself up, and then you can enjoy the fruits of your labor a little bit later on. And then number 7 is the food. The food is very good, especially if you like spicy food. You know, they got the pad Thai chicken, which is my favorite. But to be honest, I'm not that big of a fan of the Thai food. But they do have like the American food, the UK food, Australian food, pretty much food from all different parts of the world, just because it is one of the major cities on the planet. So they do have every bit of taste that you want from all these different cultures. But if you like spicy food, then Thai food is going to be on your plate a lot of the time. But like we talked about earlier, each and every single food that you do like, you can download the Grab app and get all these foods ordered right to your doorsteps. You can eat while you work. And the quality of food here is also very good. They don't put a lot of seed oils in their food. Like all the different chains in America, they all have seed oils embedded into their recipes, which leads to a lot of Americans getting obese. They have very chubby faces, brain fog maxed out all the way, which leads to a lot of Americans being depressed, broke, fat, lazy, and just very completely lost. But out here, they really don't have that, especially in the American food. The States, they don't really use those. They use like butter, ghee. But yeah, the food out here is just absolutely amazing. You can get everything you want, anywhere you want, and they have every single option that you can dream of. And then 3 more things. 8 on the list is the gyms. The gyms are very fun to go to here in Thailand. They're very test fueled, especially Muscle Factory, Unreal Gym, Virgin Active, where most people there, they're taking tests, they're taking some type of steroid. And being natty myself, going to these gyms and seeing these massive people just pushing the weights, and you can just kind of feel the testosterone in the air, which just fuels your workouts. It makes you that much more motivated just because you're seeing everyone just attacking the weights. The frequency is just super high in each one of these gyms compared to back home in the States, where everyone is just doing the elliptical, they're lifting a few weights, they're just not really taking it seriously. But here, everyone is like a high level killer when it comes to the gym, which is an absolute game changer thing compared to back home in the States. And with the gyms here compared to back home in the States, the networking is very good as well. There's very high level people that go to both Muscle Factory, Unreal, and Virgin Active just because they're very high level gyms. The most high level people, the digital nomads, the very high level type people that go to the gym compared to back home in the States, where very high level people, they're just fat, lazy, and they just focus on the money aspect. But here, they're leveling up in all different shapes and forms, and you'll be able to make very good connections at the gym. And at these gyms in Thailand as well, especially if you're making content, they don't really care. They're actually more supportive of it than back home in the States, because when I went back home to Viz, I was making a YouTube video, and I could just feel the judgment, the low frequency just kind of come into my environment, in my kind of my mind space as I was trying to make a vlog. And it's just pretty annoying, to be completely honest, then compared to Thailand, where everyone's making content, everyone's having a good time, and the Thai people, when you're filming them, they just want to chip in and be in the video, which is pretty cool compared to back home in the States, where everyone's like, oh, why are you recording? This is a private property. It's just pretty annoying, to be completely honest. And then number 9, this ties into what we talked about a little bit earlier. It's just super cheap and you get a lot more bang for your buck. For example, my first apartment when I first came here, when I had $1,500 to my name, no income whatsoever, was only $350 a month, and I got a pool, sauna, gym. But of course, my room wasn't that big. It was like a little prison cell, but the amenities made up for it. The location was good. It was on floor 37 or something like that. So being able to just spend $350 a month, especially with very little savings and no income whatsoever, it was able to buy me a lot of time to figure out what I was going to do to start making money online. And then number 10, the energy and the frequency out here, just a lot more higher than compared to back home in the States, where it was a lot lower. There's a lot of tension in the air. You couldn't really think these high frequency thoughts just because everyone was watching sports, they were drinking, partying. No one was really focused on leveling up. Everyone was just okay working the 9 to 5 and just settling there for the rest of their lives. But from what I've seen out here, the frequency is just super high just because everyone's leveling up, whether it be fitness, their financial situation, or leveling up in other different ways. Everyone's just kind of moving the needle forward here, which raises the frequency to newer heights, and you're able to kind of feel that and level up yourself. And then last but not least, the advancements in technology here. A lot of people think Thailand is like this third world country where we go down on the street, there's elephants walking around, and that's how we transport. But they couldn't be more wrong, especially my grandparents. They think like, I'm going to these malls and I'm picking up these cloths and I have to build my clothes, but that's not how it is. I'd argue that even Bangkok is a lot more advanced than even Atlanta, especially because here they don't have these fentanyl zombies in the streets just sitting there, and they're not starting any type of obstacle course. It's just a lot more advanced. I mean, you just have to come here to see it, but it's literally just like they have lights everywhere. It's very high levels. I'd even say it's like compared to Dubai, like maybe Dubai's here and Thailand's like right here, and then Atlanta, America, US is like right down there. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Here's like 11 reasons why I think Thailand's better than America. There's a lot more reasons I can go into, like the freedom. It's literally like GTA 5 out here, but this is just a quick one for you guys. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next one.